how can we adapt the game conditions to affect decision making? So let's think about this. How many coaches spoon feed their players? How many of us as coaches tell the players what to do, where to go? If we keep telling players what to do, when to go, and where to go, well, can't they think for themselves? So how are we going to help them? Well, we could design a game and play a game. We could set up game conditions like 2 versus 1. Or we might give video the session and give them feedback. We have the game set up, and now we want to adapt the game. So we're going to adapt it by space, timer, task, equipment, or players. So let's think about space. 10v10, 4v4 area. Well, if we increase the space, well, we have more space and potentially more time to make a decision. Lengthen the area, now you increase the ability to strike the ball and read the flight of the ball. And then width, easier to defend in depth, but not in width. Time or task, we think about the rules. And currently we have 4 steps in possession. But we can increase it to 8 steps or 6 seconds in possession to increase the chance to make a decision. Or else we can decrease the chance to make a decision by decreasing the steps or the time taken. Let's think about the equipment. And if we have narrow goals, it's going to promote points and make it harder for goals to go in. And then wider goals is going to create more goal scoring opportunities. If we think about equipment and maybe zoning off the pitch, for example, the movement of the ball. In the next 5 minutes, how many times can you get the ball inside the white cones? Now you have attack and defence. The movement of players. For example, right, the 3 players, you must stay inside that area. Or else 2 of you can go in and out. And finally, players. Well, for example, we have our 4v4. Increasing the players is going to limit the space that we're going to play in. We may limit the one team and play odd versus even numbers. Team in black have possession and potentially they have more time to make a decision. Or else we might overload them. Give the team in white 2 extra players, 10 versus 8, and challenge the time in possession. Right. I want you to think about your current activities. Do you focus on the ball activities? Or do you focus on off the ball activities? Do you focus on improving the drill better? Or the player's ability to play the game better? Some game conditions can practice poor decision making. For example, we're going to set up a game and you have to have 6 passes before you shoot. I have possession, my ultimate aim is to score. I pass once, I get the pass back and I'm in for a score. Oh, I can't score, turn around, hand pass another one. Hand pass again, and they're in. But they can't score because they need 6. And now we're forcing the player into, oh, I should be going for a score, but now I have to turn away and keep possession because that's what you're telling me to do. Think about the activities that you set up. The conditions might be limiting the decision making and promoting poor decision making. So we learn the game by playing a game. For example, we want to set up a small-sided game. 6v6 in a small area, and we've all done this. What have we? We have a small area, and they're challenged by the time and space that they have available. Right? If we add a goals, now we have attack and defence. It's more like the real game. However, think about the space. Think about where the ball is. It's confined in that area. The players are confined in the area. If we look back to the All-Ireland for a minute and see Kilkenny playing this way for the total of the game and Galway playing the other way, and we divide the pitch in half, and the ball transfers from one side to the other 73 times. 73 times, over and back. It went into the Galway half for 35 and into the Kilkenny half for 38. And the majority of times it was long striking that got it there. Now what is that telling us as coaches of players? Well, they had to read the flight of the ball when it was changing ends from a long strike. Now if we go back to the small-sided game, the game, where is the ball? The ball is continuously in that small area. They get an opportunity to read the flight of it close by, which is necessary. Remember all the times TJ got the ball very, very close. But we need to help them read the flight of the ball. So, let's think about space, time, task, equipment. How are we going to make that more specific? We add an area. And now the ball is transferred from one space to the other. Yes, we can have extra area on one side and maybe smaller the other, and then maybe a bigger on each side. Or maybe we reduce the areas on both sides to challenge them. So not only now has the number one skill of maintaining possession within that small area is a hand pass, but now they have to strike the ball as well as hand pass. If we think about the time or task, we might give them 5 steps in possession or 10 steps in possession. The equipment, we might add in a zone on one side. Now we want to practice depth, creating space. So when the ball is on this side, well, the 2 players must be outside the area. And then when it goes over, they can move anywhere. Or we might add the zones to both sides. All right. Adding the players. Players to one side going to really, really challenge this area, or maybe we might challenge them at both sides. So when we set up games, we must have a team. We have attack and defense is more like the real 15-a-side game. The more elements of these that we have, and these that we have, the more likely it is that a 15-a-side game. The game provides technical, tactical, decision-making, and team play. Physical fitness. They learn the game by playing a game.